I found a way to explode your SAT score faster than 99% of students. In fact, while the average student takes around 9 months to score 1500 plus, you could achieve it in a fraction of that time. Here's how. I want you to imagine this. You've been studying for the SAT for months. Hours in the library, practice tests, endless SAT prep, and yet when you get your scores back, you see the crashing number 1310. That's the SAT score that feels like it's mocking you. Then you kind of ask yourself, what went wrong? So the first strategy I'm about to reveal is the exact same one of my students used to go from 560 to 760 on the SAT math. And I'm not making this up. This is real and this actually happened. And it's called the error lock. Here's how it works. After each practice test, write down every mistake you made. What was the mistake? Why did you make it? Was it a calculation error, or was it a careless mistake, or was it a concept that you didn't understand? And then write down the solution, how you can avoid the same mistake next time. But here's the thing. This only works if you review your mistakes regularly. And if you don't go back and review them every single week, I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's pointless. All that time spent on those practice tests feels wasted because without correction and reflection, you're just memorizing more mistakes. But here's the thing, you could write down every mistake, review it regularly, and still get stuck if you don't understand the real enemy. And that enemy, it's hiding in plain sight in the form of incorrect answer choices. Let me paint a picture for you. You're sitting and you're staring at two answer choices, and they both got really good. And you start second guessing yourself. You pick one and you realize later that it was the incorrect one. Here's why if this keeps happening, the SAT isn't just testing your knowledge, it's testing your ability to resist falling for those traps. And these traps are the incorrect answer choices. And they're designed to mess with your head. And until you learn how to spot them, you will keep falling for them over and over again, no matter how much you study. And that's why the next strategy is so critical. And this is where the error lock connects to something even more powerful. And once you start analyzing your mistakes, you will notice a pattern. You're not just picking the wrong answers because you're just unsure. You are falling for specific types of traps. And today, I'm gonna reveal the 3 most common types of incorrect answer choices on the SAT. And I'm gonna be really honest with you, these traps are so sneaky. They trick even the smartest students. But once you understand them, you will never fall for them again. Think about it. What would it feel like to confidently eliminate every answer choice in seconds? And that is exactly what this strategy will do for you. But let me warn you, if you skip this, no amount of studying will help you. Those traps are that powerful. Now let's break them down one by one and pay close attention because spotting these could be the difference between a 1300 and a 1500. So the first trap is what I call too extreme. These answer choices include words like always, never, or every. And they sound bold and they're almost always wrong. Why? Because the SAT loves nuance if an answer choice is absolute. So the second trap is off-topic answer choices. And finally, the contradiction trap. And these answer choices directly go against what is in the passage. Now, there is one more strategy that ties all of this together, and it is something that most SAT prep books never talk about. But it's the secret weapon that top scorers use to dominate the test. Every student dreams of that perfect SAT score, 1500, 1550, or 1600. But here's the hard truth. Most of you are stuck using the same strategies everyone else uses. You study the same materials, take the same practices, and expect different results. And guess what? The SAT knows this. That's why 99% of students never break past their limits. But the top 1%, they know something that the rest of you don't. They've mastered a strategies they so powerful that it allows them to solve vocabulary-based questions faster than anyone else. And the craziest part is that you can copy the strategy right now and change the way you approach the test forever. Imagine this. You're sitting there staring at a vocabulary question. The sentence is confusing and the answer choices are all long, complicated words that you've barely heard of. And you kind of panic, you take a wild guess, and you just like that, you've lost points that could have taken you over 1500 plus. And that is exactly what the SAT is designed to do. It throws in fancy sounding words to make you doubt yourself, to make you feel like you're not smart enough, like you've never studied enough. But what if I told you you don't need to know every word to crush these questions? And there is a shortcut, a way to decode these questions without wasting time or second guessing yourself. And that's where the next strategy comes in. Mastering the art of prefixes. SAT vocabulary questions aren't about knowing every single word, they are rather about understanding parts of some words. Prefixes like re, anti, and sub give you the meaning behind a lot of the words, even if you've never seen them. For example, if you see a word subordinate and it's used in the answer choices, and you ask yourself, what does it actually mean? And most students guess at this stage. But you know that sub means below or under. So subordinate means someone below in rank. Boom, you just unlocked the question in seconds. But here's the catch. Most students don't even know where to start. They waste hours Googling lists of prefixes that aren't even related to the SAT. And they try to memorize everything and they end up more confused than when they started. And that's why I've made it so simple for you. I've created a cheat sheet of the 32 most common SAT prefixes that you need to know. And these prefixes show up in nearly every SAT exam. And if you can master these, you'll spot the meaning of words faster than 99% of students. And the best part is, it's completely free. Just click the first link in the description, download it, and start using it today. But that's just the first step, because knowing prefixes is powerful. But I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, it's not enough. The SAT has another trap that even the smartest students fall for. And if you don't know how to handle it, you will lose precious points no matter how much you've studied. Now I'm gonna reveal the SAT's sneakiest strategy to make you pick the wrong answers. And it's something that not even so many tutors talk about. And once you understand it, you will never look at SAT questions the same way again. Let's face it, most SAT prep feels like throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping that something sticks. You do endless SAT prep, you take endless practice tests, you memorize endless vocabulary lists, and maybe even pay for expensive tutors, yet somehow your score just refuses to increase. And I know how you're feeling. It's frustrating. And it's so demoralizing. And worst of all, it makes you doubt whether you're even capable of hitting that 1500 plus. And here's the kicker. Most SAT tutors won't help you fix this. They will tell you vague things like manage your time better. Just keep practicing. But let's be real. What does that even mean? How exactly are you supposed to manage your time better? How do you practice smarter, not harder? Fortunately, there is an easy fix to this. And if you're watching this, you're about to learn something that very few students even know about. In fact, I've never heard a single SAT tutor talk about this strategy before. But here is the best part. Once you start using it, you will be able to prepare for the SAT faster and more efficient than 99% of other students. Using Reddit. Now, you might be thinking, Reddit, isn't that just a place for memes and random discussions? And that's exactly why most students overlook this goldmine. What they don't really realize is that Reddit has SAT focused communities where real students just like you share strategies, tips, and even real time feedback on practice questions. But here's the problem. Most students either don't know these communities exist or they don't know how to use them the right way. They scroll aimlessly, wasting hours without getting any real value. So here's how you do it. The first thing you need to do is to join these three subreddits: RSAT, RSAT Prep, and RSAT Test Prep. These are some of the most active SAT communities on the internet, and they are filled with students who've already scored 1500 plus. Start by searching for posts that share details, study plans, or their SAT study materials. And these posts are written by students who've been in your shoes. And they often include resources, tips, and even the mistakes to avoid. Screenshot them, bookmark them, and these are your cheat codes. But don't stop there. The real power of Reddit is in the comments. If you're stuck at a specific question type, just post your question. You will get answers from people who've already mastered it, sometimes within minutes. And it's like having hundreds of free tutors at your own fingerprints. So you've made it to this part of the video, and maybe right now you're feeling one of two things. Either you're inspired and ready to tackle the SAT with everything you've learned so far, or you're still overwhelmed, unsure if this is actually enough to get your dream SAT score. But here's the thing, you're not alone in this. You don't have to guess your way to a 1500 plus. That's why I created the playlist SAT Tips, and it's not just a collection of random videos, it's a step-by-step guide to mastering the test. So click on this playlist right now and watch.